The following is a hockey podcast out of Vancouver and Surrey, British Columbia. It'll only consist of a lot of puck talk and even more BS, or in actual words, banter and satire. Enjoy, and as always, go Canucks go.
Where else are you going to find this Canuck content? A dude that looks like Mario and a Findu ranking all 59 Canucks players in one episode? What? Unbelievable, man.
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Locked On Canucks. My name is Trevor Beggs, co-host of Locked On Canucks, and also a Canucks writer currently with the Daily Hive, Vancouver. Before we dive into the show, we got to thank you and you for tuning into Locked On Canucks, because it is your Canucks every damn day. And Kyle, man, I thought we might break this up into a couple episodes, but I like it, man. Let's do this episode with a bit of speed to it, man. Ranking all 59 players in the Canucks organization. How are we going to do it, man? And more importantly, how are you doing, man?
That's a great question, man. Just gotta keep on trucking along. One love to everyone listening to this. Spend time with people you enjoy spending time with, man. Because who knows what tomorrow will bring. AKA Trevor Beggs. Hey, give your friend a phone call every now and then, okay? Trevor, just ask me how I'm doing away from the podcast, okay? You got the new mustache. Don't forget about your old friends, okay? Because I see what's happening here. The ego, the superstardom, right? You know, big announcement coming up soon, and look at you now. Listen to Post Malone, man. You can't change. Listen to the song "Congratulations" or no, "Go Flex" by Post Malone. Like, you can't change just because everything else is changing. And I'm afraid, Trevor, you better do this episode some justice and the people some justice, because I don't know if a lot of people want you to change.
Oh man. Well, trust me, man. Despite this mustache, that if you're on the audio side, you're lucky that you can't see it, man. Because I walked out. Again, I'm still on vacation. I'm in a house with like 7 kids, man. I'm miscounting. So many kids are can't even keep track of them all. So I came out with the Mario mustache, and they immediately all started calling me Mario. So, but anyways, that's neither here or now, because we gotta get through 59 players, man. So I try to break this into tiers, man. I'm up late all last night, man, trying to rank the players. And look, shout out to our friends at Locked On Centers. They came up with this idea originally. They've been doing it now for 5 years. So we're gonna follow a similar rationale here for our rankings, and really. The idea for the organizational value rankings is both value to the team now, with an emphasis on how these players might be viewed from other teams. And I kind of like the description from Brandon of Locked On Sens Best. You're almost kind of like looking at this as like, what is their rating in NHL? But a bit deeper than that, because it's about kind of where they were drafted, value to the organization, potential, and just to make it a little bit more digestible. I wanted to break this into bite-sized pieces as well, man. So let's get into it. Let's start with the franchise tier, man. And there's no question about who's number one, man. I'm not going to waste too much time. Quinn Hughes is not only the best player in the Canucks right now, but probably the best player in franchise history. And to finish off the rankings, I have Elias Pettersson at number 2, Thatcher Demko at number 3. That is your franchise tier for the Vancouver Canucks. And Kyle, these guys were supposed to bring us the Stanley Cup. Are you still believing that that's possible?
Wow, dude. Well, I don't know. Come on, man. It's August 20th, bro. You just got to keep going through these rankings, man. I feel like I've been saying this for a while, man. We just did some contract rankings too, and now Trevor Beggs going to give his version of the power rankings, bro. I don't know what the future holds, man. This is the most interesting, time in my Canuck fandom, because I literally have no idea what's going to happen next season. But why am I so excited? Because, there's so many what ifs, and what ifs are kind of fun as a sports fan. And at least the what ifs involve, Demko and Pettersson, like high tier potential, right? A- potential. I mean, I saw that graphic, going around X, Twitter. Trevor, I don't spend time with my ex anymore, but I spend time on X. Toxic, I know. All in all, though, there was this graphic talking about the top point scorers in like the last 10 NHL drafts. And there's 16 and 17, or is it 17 and 18? 17 and 18, Pettersson and Hughes? Trevor, do the math.
17 and 18, right, buddy? You got it.
So Pettersson and Hughes are at the top of their class when it comes to points. Like I can maybe confirm if this graphic is correct or not, but that's something else, and that just oozes potential, right? And again, with this statement, with this the franchise tier, with this question, like, oh, do you think the Canucks are going to be fine on that metric? I should be like, yeah, we should be fine because these guys are exactly where they're supposed to be. But at the same time, again, the what ifs. I feel like there's no organization in all of sport right now that has such high end what if questions. Because if those two, Demko and Pedersen, match up with Quinn Hughes's ability and execution, the sky is the limit for the Vancouver Canucks, and that's without JT Miller.
Yeah, exactly, man. And look, it's why we wasted 4 minutes of this episode, 3 minutes of this episode, talking about the most 3 important players on this team, man. And like you said, I've seen the similar graphics, and the fact that Quinn Hughes himself is leading the draft class in points is kind of phenomenal, to be honest, right? As the 7th overall pick, as a defenseman, but I mean, the guy is just such a stud, man. And I just spent some time on the Locked On NHL show. That's episodes dropping in the later days, and of course, they're asking about Quinn Hughes staying in Vancouver, man. But I mean, we have him here, we have him now, and Trevor, hopefully, if all these guys are firing the right cylinders next season, we won't have to worry about him leaving.
Of course, and Trevor, that's why it connects so much to that statement. Like, what, and just answer it, okay? Answer the question. Like, what organization in all sport right now has those types of what ifs around them? Now, again, there's scrutinized organizations around all of sport. There's teams that haven't handled the pressure and have had all this like pedigree year in and year out. But considering that like it's Pedersen and Demko at such important positions, and again the potential is so, dude, it's astronomical. It's so fun to watch. It helps you win games. Like I just feel as if I can't point out one team that has those types of questions. It's because again, Pedersen Demko potential 96, 95 overall.
Yeah, exactly, right? I mean, with Thatcher Demko, I mean, it was one of the best goalies in the league until last season. With Thatcher Demko, I'm fully believing he still has the potential there. And we'll see how he's looking to training camp. We have full off season, man, to train, get ready. I believe he's got that new dad energy as well, man. So Thatcher Demko, man, come on. To me, it's sometimes I think there might be an argument between Quinn Hughes. Quinn Hughes is first, but Elias Pettersson or Thatcher Demko, like who's the second most important player on the Canucks? Because the Canucks don't have good goaltending, they're going to be in trouble. But I thought about it for a bit, and it's obviously Elias Pettersson at second on the organizational value rankings. I mean, the value he provides when he's at his A game is second to none, aside from Quinn Hughes. All right, Kyle, let's get to the second tier, and that was the franchise cornerstone tier. Hughes, Pettersson, Demko kicking off our rankings. The second one, I'm calling this the team leaders tier. Who are the best players on the team outside of the ones that we just mentioned? And I'm going to list in this order. All right. So I have Brock Besser at number 4. I went with Filip Hronek at number 5, Conor Garland, number 6, Marcus Pettersson, number 7, Jake DeBrusk, number 8. And to round out the top 10, backup goaltender Kevin Lankinen at number 9. And Kiefer the Reefer Sherwood at number 10. So I got try to pop that up on the screen here for you listening, but that's the team leaders tier. Okay. So
why though? Why, how are you like? What are you smoking out there in Ottawa? Like how is there any chance that Brock Besser is more important than Filip Hronek?
I think the fact that the Canucks need offense on this team, man. You got Quinn Hughes here already. Are you kidding me?
Yo, the
Canucks need goal scoring. They need a guy who can have 30 to 40 goals, and Brock Besser, I think, has got that potential. I mean, Filip Hronek, I think he proved us last season that he's really good playing away from Quinn Hughes, right? But that was a question mark until about the midway point of last year, right? Because he's been saddled behind Quinn Hughes the whole time. I mean, I like the fact that you argue with me, bro, but yeah.
No, this is not an argument. Man. I think you're just smoking the wrong. This is what happens. Like, again, we can't really talk about it, but it's just different. The grass is greener on this side. Okay. For real. Okay. The rest of the world is synthetic. What? Where am I going with this? Oh yeah. Trevor, what are you smoking, man? There's no world where I'm picking Brock Besser before Filip Hronek. And I think this is going to be the year that we completely appreciate what this guy's done and don't just associate a lot of his, ability or his play with, oh yeah, he just perfect. He's a compliment piece to Quinn Hughes. I keep arguing this. No, like Quinn Hughes, yeah, he's a compliment to Filip Hronek, but it's vice versa too. Like Quinn Hughes is a player he is because of how good Filip Hronek is, and he'd be the first one to admit that. So let us know in the comments, like, who are you taking on your team? If you're building a cup team, who would you rather have, Brock Besser or Filip Hronek? And the answer is easy, bro. The answer is easy.
Yeah, I think in terms of the right shot defenseman versus the winger, I see where you're going with this, man. But I just know that the Canucks, again, in terms of their value in the organization, like man, oh man, like they need wingers who can score. Like the rest of the players I listed, I mean, God bless them. But in this tier, you have Conor Garland, you have Jake DeBrusk, you have Kiefer Sherwood. Like those are the Canucks' top wingers aside from Brock Besser. And Brock Besser, again, he's been here for 10 years, man. You know, he's beloved in this city. I go on CTV and I swear I talked about Brock Besser for 2 minutes, thinking that I was singing his swan song. He ends up resigning on the team. I mean, the Canucks just don't have elite wingers on this team. Brock Besser has the ability to do it. He's only a year removed from 40 goals. If he can do it, he's certainly, in my mind, the fourth most valuable player in this organization. But I absolutely see the argument for Hronek, buddy.
Yeah, there's no argument. There's no argument, man. Filip Hronek is a damn good defenseman, and he has better facial hair than you. I'll tell you that much for free. And yo, dude, can I ask you this question though? Like, who would you rather have, Garland or Jake DeBrusk?
Conor Garland, based on these rankings. I got to go with Conor Garland, man. I mean, it's a great question because Jake DeBrusk brings more to the table, but
oh, that's crazy.
I mean, Jake DeBrusk, I guess in terms of physicality is more what I'm talking about. Like he's a younger guy, you know, brings more goal scoring, blah blah blah.
Size, Trevor, you're a size guy. You're a size guy. You're a size guy. Yeah, honestly, because Jake DeBrusk, like, go watch the film. There's nothing physical about this guy. We didn't get to see it yet because the playoffs don't happen. He saves the juice for the playoffs when it comes to, you know, laying the boom. But I feel as if physically, like, Garland was way more engaged, and I would take Garland any day of the week over Jake DeBrusk, like you did over here. And Trevor, I'm happy that we're cool. Like we're pretty high on the small guys here. And you know, again, I haven't mentioned this in a long time because I'm trying to do it less. That's what my therapist said. You know, just like, yo, don't talk about it so much. Don't talk about it so much. Like, don't feel small all the time. And if you want that to happen, don't talk about how small you are. And here we are, Trevor. Just again, I got to say it. I'm small too. And Conor Garland's small. Boom, bam, do the math. This is a personal show. Trevor, shut me up. Just shut me up because I'm digging the hole. Okay?
That's right, man. You're allowed to dig a hole, buddy. Any other surprises for you in this tier? Again, we got Besser 4, Hronek 5, Garland 6, Marcus Pettersson at 7, DeBrusk 8, Lankin at 9, Sherwood 10. These are the top 10 players in terms of value on your Vancouver Canucks. And we'll get to the younger guys tier coming up next year.
I would move. My list would be Filip Hronek, Kevin Lankinen, then Conor Garland, then Brock Besser, Marcus Pettersson, Jake DeBrusk, and Kiefer Sherwood.
Damn, the backup goalie at number 6.
Bro, this guy's the Papatias. He's the Papatias to Demko's Nias. Okay, for real. He's keeping everything afloat, man. We need Kevin Lankinen. Trevor, what do you got against Finnish people, man?
Yeah, nothing, man. I love Finnish people,
okay,
man.
Name me one Finnish dish. Exactly, Trevor. That's the problem.
I will say, man, I have been in my buddy's sauna. A Finnish guy, you know, lived in Coquitlam. Shout out to Coquitlam. He invited me over, and of course, he loved the thing. He had a sauna. His family made their shed into a sauna, man. So,
bro, because they're huge into that stuff. My girl took me to a sauna, a spa date. She took me on a spa date. And there was like a sauna there, and this place was like big into saunas, and they had a book about the history of saunas. And you know what I did, right? Because I'm like Kevin Lankinen. Call me Kyle Lankinen, okay? I like books, man. And I was flipping through it, and yeah, okay, good answer. I asked for the best dish in Finland, but you just gave me the sauna. But I'll give you that. You could cook an egg in a sauna.
You could, man. Yeah. Dude, you could cook a lot of things in the sauna, man. Maybe you and I will hit up my buddy from university. We'll hop in the sauna for a sweaty episode of Locked On Canucks.
Imagine making love in a sauna. Don't imagine that.
You might pass out, man. Yeah. You might pass out, man. You might pass out. Okay, coming up next on our tiers, we've gone through 2 of the 8 tiers. We'll see how many we can get through here. No, we got to get through all of them, man. But at what length, who knows? Speaking of length, we got the young and hung tier next on Locked On.
Why are you bringing up length after I just opened up, Trevor? Okay, come, Trevor, you did.
This episode is not brought to you by what you think it is. It's actually brought to you by Monarch Money. But man, oh man, Monarch Money, they've helped me in a lot of ways, man, because they are your own personal CFO, okay? Making things easy, okay? You know, when you're looking at all your accounts, man, your investment accounts, properties, investments, you know, a lot of people don't even know what the full picture is. And that's when they end up leaving money on the table. With Monarch Money, you're not going to do that, okay? Because Monarch does the heavy lifting for you. Boom, bam. That's why I look like I weigh 145 pounds. Let's go. You can link all your accounts in minutes, see clear data visuals, get smart categorization of your spending, and finally feel in control of your money without ever touching a spreadsheet. Speaking of touching, okay, man, oh man, at Monarch Money, they've eased the stress in my life because now I can combine my accounts with my partners on Monarch, making things easy, easing the stress. And because of that, I can last maybe up to 40 seconds more in the sack. Now I can go a full minute and a half. Thank you to Monarch, okay? So improve your love life, ease your stress, make things easy with your partner, and don't let opportunities slip through the cracks. And use code Locked On NHL monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off of your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code Locked On NHL.
People, we back doing this, and that's talking about your Vancouver Canucks. Hit the links in the bio, join the Discord, join the Substack. Trevor and I haven't updated the Substack in 3 weeks, and that's because Trevor's a really good dad, and I'm a bad friend, and I'm a bad procrastinator, and Trevor doesn't hold me accountable. That's why Trevor's also a bad friend. And Trevor, like I just said, you know, I just mentioned my size issues and all that stuff, and I was getting emotional there, and you mentioned how lengthy this episode was going to be, so I just want you to know that you got to watch your words, Trevor, in this thing called your life. Okay, Trevor? This whole mustache thing, I like it because you look good, but I don't trust it. And just, again, I keep saying this, Trevor. Trevor, listen to me, brother. Listen to me. Put the volume up, okay? Listen to me, brother. Your life's going to change, but you don't got to change, brother. You got a family, you got friends, you got the people too, you got Canucks fans, okay? Know your place, know your role.
Dude, trust me, man. No matter what my facial hair looks like, I'll never change, man. I've been the same guy since I was 12 years old, man. That's why I get along with kids so much. Adults, bit of a different story, but kids love me because I got the maturity of a 12-year-old. So that always tells, man. So no, I'll never change.
You're the man. Second best dad in the world. Honestly, I would hire you to be the clown at my kid's birthday party down the road. No, I'm not even joking because you're so talented. You're so talented. Anyways, let's go through more of these players. Ranking all the Canucks players based on their value. We got 49 more to go and 20 minutes, bro. So, Trevor, show off your podcasting skills, okay?
Dude, this is going to be one of the craziest segments of all time. And let's see if I can even get up one of the backgrounds here and see, so listeners can see what I'm talking about. If you're joining us on YouTube, if not, just listen in. So the next tier, I call this the young and hung tier, okay? So players that clearly bring value to the organization. They're a little bit on the younger side. So let's just rip through it. So number 11, I have Philip Hedl, man. I just went on the Locked On NHL show talking about he's the guy that fans outside of Vancouver should watch next year because we are extremely high on this guy. Again, if he can stay healthy, he's in such a good opportunity to produce. And man, maybe he has that JT Miller breakout like potential. So Philip Hedl at 11. I have Nils Höglander at 12. Jonathan Lekkerimaki at 13. Tom Willander at 14. DPD at 15, Ratu at 16, Victor Mancini at 17, and one of the top Canucks prospects, Braden Coots, at 18.
You went young there, man.
Young and hung, buddy.
And okay, so can I ask you this question? And again, we got to make this quick. So I think questions are going to be the best way to get squeeze the most out of that mustache of Trevor's. Okay. How excited are you for Elias Pettersson? And is he one of the most, is he our X factor? Is Elias Pettersson our X factor going into next season? Because if he's giving you top 4 value and he looked so damn good last year and he has confidence, he has swag, he's got the exuberance, he got that energy, okay? Can be a big figure in that room. And I don't even think I'm putting a lot of pressure to him. He just seems like a cool dude, Trevor. He seems like he makes love to the pressure. Is Elias Pettersson secretly our most important player. And when it comes to like the X factor ability of him.
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I think this guy is going to show some warts to an extent because he's a young defenseman. All young defensemen do. But I also think he could grow in a hurry, man. Like much like Alex Edler did in his early days in the NHL. Is he the most important young guy in the organization? Probably not. I mean, these are the Locked On official rankings, aka my rankings. This is all my input at the end of the day. But man, oh man, I mean, look, I do have DPD behind a guy like Tom Willander, for instance, right? I had a bit of waffling with Lekkerimaki and Willander there as well, but I mean, clearly two more established prospects. We've just seen more of what Lekkerimaki can do at this point, although a lot of us are more high on Tom Willander. But DPD, again, he is a very important guy to this organization. The only reason I think he's less important is the fact that you have Quinn Hughes and Marcus Pettersson ahead of him on the depth chart, right? He's either going to be playing the right side or he's going to be in a bottom pairing role. Like I would almost say a guy ranked below him, Aatu Räty, might even be more important to the Canucks next season.
Wow.
Just because of the fact that, dude, Aatu Räty could be playing some pretty major minutes for this team, man. And the Canucks need scoring.
Again, I think you said all the right things there, but now looking at this list again, I'm actually really, really surprised you have Höglander so high up the list. Like I would put DPD even ahead of Nils Höglander. I know the winger thing, and you can't win without wingers, and you can't. The root word for wingers is win, but there's just so much going on with DPD. Like if he exceeds expectations, I know he's still left-handed and whatnot, but if he exceeds expectations, I feel as if I don't know it opens a room for I don't know more action. Like case in point, like what if we lose Quinn Hughes down the road?
Yeah.
You could, I'm not saying DPD's Quinn Hughes, but then you're looking at the depth chart on the left side and like you're hoping that Tom Willander can be the number one defenseman or whoever we trade Quinn Hughes for, and then DPD moves up the line. Like there's just a lot going on with that chess piece if he does take the next step. And I'm confident that he does. Like something, again, I don't know what it is. I just like his ability to be calm, cool, collected. I agree with you though. Like we should expect some warts. I mean, look at Nils Höglander from year 1 to year 2, right? Like he was our best winger in the organization not too long ago. But, you know, he's had consistency issues, and it's hard to be consistent on a mediocre team, and DP is going to have to face that challenge. But again, something just tells me that this team needs a personality like that in the room, and he kind of sees that, and he's about to seize that opportunity and add on to what he did last season. And bro, just the Alex Edler comparison, I forgot that Alex Edler was really good in year 2 as well.
Yeah. It was very early on. Alex Edler again. You know, there's so many parallels between those guys, and I know they're not the same player, but yeah, man, it's easy to get excited about DPD right now. And you know, Kyle, you mentioned just having faith in this guy. Maybe it's the fact that you know, you have you and I don't have the same jaw that DPD does. You know, this guy's got a thick jaw, man. You trust him, like
dude.
that, you know?
Exactly. Looks like a man already. Yo, I know again, long episode. I know I'm screwing up here, but like, did Florida win back-to-back cups with left and right defensemen playing where they should the whole time? Like, did they have a pair with 2 right defensemen or a pair with 2 left defensemen? Or do you? I know this would be impossible to.
No, I don't think so, right? Because last year it was Ekblad, Jones, and Nate Schmidt on the right side, and everyone else was a lefty. So no, I don't think so. It is very much a righty-lefty league. I mean, the Canucks aren't the only organization saying those things. And yeah, I mean, with the young player too, I mean, again, we'll get into DPD more. We spent 7 minutes on this episode ranking 59 players talking about DPD. We'll see if in the right side is best for him or not. But
we have to. Like, what are we gonna do? Like, talk about Aatu Räty again? I would just, again, fascinated. Again, I'm thinking about training camp, and like DPD is. I'm watching him just as close as I'm watching Aatu Räty. Same thing with Mancini, but all in all, I like that tier list. I know this is not the sexy thing to say, but there is a pretty high floor with that base level of prospects or young players. They bring
100%, man. This tier, the young and hung tier, man, oh man, dude, those are the guys that you're going to get excited to watch next season. Kyle, let's get through one more tier. Let's at least get halfway before we start ripping through some of the guys lower in the organization. And you're going to go, I want to know how many guys you're going to look at and be like, who is that guy, man?
Yeah.
Let's go through tier 4 first. This is more of the the veteran NHL, just NHLers, okay? They're not team leaders. They're not the young and hung tier. They're not franchise cornerstones. They're just NHLers on the team. And I might even put up the graphic here that has, is that hard on the eyes, man?
No,
Can't
no,
even
it
see.
isn't.
Yes.
It isn't. No, it isn't.
Okay,
It's okay.
so this is the rest. This is tiers 1 through 4. In the last tier, 19, we have Evander Kane. Not for me, again, not in Vancouver long enough. And he missed all of last season to be in the team leaders tier. Plus, he's on a 1-year contract. This is more of a let's see what we have in Evander Kane. And if it doesn't work, bye-bye. So Evander Kane at 19, Tyler Myers at 20. Again, long-term leader, respected in that dressing room. Top 4 guy last year, but also the oldest guy in the organization. And maybe not a part of the core guys you see in that second tier there. I have Teddy Bluger at 21, Drew O'Connor at 22, and Derek Forbort at 23. That's the top 4 tiers here on Locked On Canucks.
So why are you? It's great. This is a crazy question. Why are you valuing Evander Kane more than Tyler Myers? If we're all righty lefty, if we're going by that logic, because this season matters so much. I know in the long run, like Tom Willander is more valuable and all that jazz, and he kind of pushes Myers down the road. But I mean, next season is so important, and by that logic, I'm like, you could make the argument that Tyler Myers is like just right up there with Marcus Pettersson when it comes to the importance.
He's up there in terms of importance, but in terms of their skill and how they play. And I think that's the big balance in this equation. Like we talk about the NHL rating, but how are they also valued by their team? And right now, I mean, Tyler Myers, again, it's hard to say that he's on an upward trajectory, right? He's the oldest player of the team. You could say the same about Kane as well. But I think Evander Kane's coming off of, having an impact on a team that went to the Stanley Cup final, right? Tyler Myers has had an impact on a team that just barely missed the playoffs last year. I think that was more my rationale on it. And again, I was honestly, for all the smack I've said about Kane this offseason, I was relatively impressed with how he came back after a year off and was a physical dominant force for chunks of that Stanley Cup playoff run, although it started to slide downwards towards the end. So, I mean, Kane's a guy with a lot of pedigree too, right? You got to remember that. Whereas Tyler Myers, he's got the Calder pedigree, but that was a long time ago. Kane has actually made an impact on back-to-back Stanley Cup playoff run. So I think that's where I was going with Kane versus Myers there.
Yeah, and I'm just putting more importance on Tyler Myers, considering if we're going to talk about that right-handed, left-handed thing much.
That's fair. That's fair.
He's a top 4 defenseman again, which I don't want happening, and I'm just praying that Tom Willander makes the team by November at least, so we can.
Yeah.
And here's go ahead.
I was going to say, here's the thing. If I, just like you, Kyle, if you're listening right now, and we ranked your player, aka I ranked your player in the wrong spot, let us know in the comments, okay? Let's go. Sound off. Say, Beggsy, you're a beautiful idiot.
Yeah, we're talking about nobody's going to be that upset at you for real about this. It is what it is. It is what it is, and damn, I find it a little crazy how you have Derek Forbort over Drew O'Connor. I'm not going to lie, too.
No, I had Drew O'Connor over Derek Forbort. Oh, you mean?
I
see. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I meant to say, I'm surprised you don't have Forbort over Drew O'Connor.
Because I think this team chose Drew O'Connor over Dakota Joshua. They gave him the extension. I know they re-signed Derek Forbort as well, but I think they want Derek Forbort in this lineup for his penalty killing.
Yeah,
but I also think he could easily be a 7th defenseman for this team. Whereas I think Drew O'Connor is going to be an every night player for your Vancouver Canucks.
Drew O'Connor, man, the most interesting man in hockey, to be honest.
Drew O'Connor. Well, okay, well we got 4 more tiers to go. Let's see rapid fire here, Kyle. Man, oh man, I better swig the beer on this one.
Yeah.
You're listening to Locked On Canucks. All right. You're listening to Locked On Canucks, your Canucks every day. And I just missed the goats of the week bump, man. And these are the goats of the lower rankings of the Vancouver Canucks organization. Figure that one out. The next tier we got are like the fringe NHLers. I think guys that can be on the cusp of making a difference on the hockey team next season. But realistically, right now they are not everyday NHL players. All right, let's find tier 5 here. For you and you listening right now on Locked On Canucks, Right now, I got Linus Karlsson at 24, Kirill Kudryavtsev at 25, Archdeep Baines 26, Max Sasson 27, Nils Amon 28th, Ty Mueller 29th, Vitaly Kratsov number 30. Man, you're supposed to save the season, man, but he's number 30th here on Locked On Canucks. Sawyer Minio at 31, Nikita Tolopilo at 32, and Ty Young, who could be battling him. What? For the starting role at number 33.
I'm surprised Kirill Kudryavtsev, butter chicken curry, is not above Derek Forbort on the other tier. Because that guy, like, I feel like that guy is so talked about. He's like the next Dan Hamhuis or something, man. I'm excited to watch him play. And he played a bit last year, and honestly, I know guys like Akito Hirose look good during garbage time as well for the Canucks when he came through. But Kirill, he's been just rising up the ranks, and I wonder if he. You know what's crazy? Now I'm about to say something really crazy. Like, what if Kirill Kudryavtsev is legit and he pushes like DPD? I know it's a different player, but left-handed, all that stuff. Like, the Canucks have so many defensemen.
Yeah, they have a lot of defensemen, right? And I think, again, the whole balance here is in a trade, they'd certainly value Kudryavtsev more than Derek Forbort. But right now, in terms of playing on the ice, they're going to value Derek Forbort over Kirill Kudryavtsev. And again, that's the interesting balance here. But the organizational value rankings is that Kirill Kudryavtsev, as a young guy, as a 21-year-old in the AHL, like, going plus 18 in the playoffs, playing the way he did, not like virtually no mistakes in his game, even though he's not the flashiest guy. Like, you could certainly see this guy being an NHL player. And when I looked at this tier, Linus Karlsson, again, with the 23 goals in 32 AHL games, and then leading the AHL playoffs and scoring. I mean, I think he's got a great chance of making the Canucks next season. He was really the only guy in this tier that I felt higher on the Kirill Kudryavtsev. I know some good players there with Archdeep Baines and Max Sasson as well, who had great postseasons. Both have a chance to make an impact with the Canucks next season as well. But again, look, all of these players, theoretically, aside from probably Sawyer Minio, who again played in the World Juniors last year, I think all these guys potentially have a chance playing for the Vancouver Canucks next season. Maybe Sawyer Minio and Ty Young, not so much. But again, we're talking about 6 to 7 guys there who have a chance playing for the Canucks. Yeah,
no, 100%. Kirill just really intriguing to me. You guys have already heard me love Max Sasson a lot, and Archdeep has a lot of opportunity as well. Yeah, there's some depth here, man. There's some depth here. I like it. I want to keep talking about Kirill, but that's for another episode. Again, I'm curious. I'm curious to see what happens with the Canucks decoy. Like, you best believe. I know there's more value in Tom Willander than the rest of the guys, and there's probably a lot more value from like Elias Pettersson to Kirill Kudryavtsev or whatever. But I don't know, man. The more and more these guys look good, they're like, at least they become sweeteners. At least this guy was drafted in the 10th round, right? At least he can possibly become a sweetener in a trade.
Dude, he was drafted in the 10th round, man. Good job, Kyle.
There you go.
All right, man. You ready to dive further down the rabbit hole?
Go.
Let's go, baby. Tier 6. If you made it this far, scratch your sack, baby. Tier 6. I have this as the prospect tier. So I got 34. We got Alexei Medvedev, the youngest goalie drafted in the latest NHL draft, 2nd round by your Vancouver Canucks. Great season for OHL London. Vilmar Ulriksson, the 6'6" Swede, man. He should have been the young and hung tier just for that. At 35, Danila Klimovich at 36, Anthony Romani at 37, Wilson Bjork at 38, and Henry Ravinskis at 39. So again, a lot of prospects here who could, not going to play for the Canucks next season, but guys that if you're a fan of this team, you should have your eye on.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I guess I just got to say, yeah, dude. What do you want me to say here?
That's the comment. I feel like I'm going over this last part of the episode, buddy. And
no, you didn't. No, you didn't. I'm just listening to you, and I'm a fan, so you just go through it.
Oh man! All right, buddy. Again, let's see what we got. Danil Klimovich is such an interesting player to me. 25 goals in 65 games, but very quiet in the playoffs. Wasn't trusting the playoffs. Anthony Romani, for me, a very interesting player. Gets traded during the OHL season last year to Barrie, I believe it was, but then just lit it up in the playoffs. 12 goals, 24 points in 16 playoff games. What was I would say from what I've watched and the points, that one of the best players on Barrie. He put up those numbers despite missing half the season with a broken clavicle. So shout out to Anthony Romani in that tier. Wilson Bjork, again, his brother Viggo Bjork, both brothers led the J20 in Sweden in scoring last season. So again, if the Canucks suck next season, it could be the next Sedin brothers right there, buddy. Even though they're not twins, but Wilson Bjork's a guy that I've really liked the tape on as well.
You're such a nerd, man. You gotta slow down. You're on vacation here. You don't gotta flex, bro. Like I said, man, you got the mustache. Now you're like, let's make Kyle look like he ain't doing his research and stuff like that. Who are I know who these guys are, but you just did deep research on the 5th round pick of the Canucks last year or whatever. Wilson Bjork or Bjork what Thomas Broy. Anyways, that's crazy.
Thomas Broy, man. All right. Well, you might recognize some names in the next tier, man. And this is our what did I call this tier? I can't remember. The rest tier, man.
The rest. These are the rest.
No, there's two more. There's two more, buddy. There's two more. Tier 7, baby. Here we go. This is the AHL depth tier. So Yuri Patera at 40, Josh Bloom 41, Pierre Olivier Joseph. Callum Sandu asked about him in the comments. He ends up at 42. I would say the only guy in this list who has a chance to be an NHL regular next season. But he is coming off a season where he had 47 games. He had 3 assists. And again, got kicked off of St. Louis and then became good. And then played on a really bad Pittsburgh team. Not looking so good for Pierre Olivier Joseph. Mackenzie McEachran at 43. Jet Wu. Woohoo! He's fallen down the rankings at 44. And Jimmy Schultz, captain of the San Jose Barracuda last season, recently signed.
Canucks don't got a guy named Jimmy. Now you're just making up names trying to look cool. This is what I keep saying, man. You got the mustache on. You're trying to just flex on us now. You're trying to just say, oh, look at this, man. I can get away with something. Trevor, man, you gotta. I don't want you to shave that off, but you gotta. Come on, man. Get rid of the ego, man. Come on, man. Jimmy, you really just made up a name just to want to show people you're smarter than everyone? Come on, man.
Put some respect on Jimmy Schultz, man. He's played 300 AHL games or something like that, man. I can tell you pretty quick here, Jimmy Schultz, man. Jimmy Schultz, he's played 9 NHL games, including 8 of his 9 games came with the San Jose Sharks last season. Has played definitely over 200 AHL games as well. Again, captain of the San Jose Barracuda last season, signed by the Vancouver Canucks to replace a guy like Christian Willander, who they lost in free agency as well. We lost
Christian Willander. We didn't do an episode on that.
Dude, I know, right? Come on, it's August. We just the Christian Willander goodbye episode.
Isn't he the best Labs for Canucks defenseman of all time?
He would lead them in points, yeah.
So exactly. We're not doing our jobs, Trevor. Trevor.
I know, man. I know.
Man.
Despite this list, I'm not doing my job, man. 100%. I also put Jimmy Schultz over Guillaume Brisebois. Maybe that was a slight, but Jimmy Schultz.
You're an asshole. You're just an asshole.
Guillaume Brisebois, I mean, look, first pairing defenseman for a Calder Cup winning team. I may have disrespected him. He did have 5 points in 48 games in the AHL last season, though. I mean,
yeah, well, points aren't everything. You played on a ball. You played on a ball. Katina had won a championship, and you had 2 points in 12 games or 13 games or something. Okay, and you wanted more ice time. Come on, Trevor. You can't be a hypocrite, man.
That's true. But Jimmy Schultz, again, come on, man. He was a captain, bro. He was a captain in the AHL, man. You got to give the guy some credit for that. Aku Koskin Quovo. I think I butchered that name there, but he's going from Harvard to probably the ECHL next season, I imagine. I really don't want to know what the Canucks are going to do with Yuri.
Trevor, move on to the next tier, dude. I got Trevor, man. Okay, I want to go to the gym. I want to eat dinner, dude. Who are these guys? There we go.
Okay, let's see how many players Kyle recognizes in the last
Jimmy
year,
Schultz. Sorry, baby. I got to talk about Jimmy Schultz. I can't put the kid to bed. I'm trying to save your relationship.
Well, that's basically what's happening in my household right now. So.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to save your relationship, man.
That's sensitive.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. First his mustache, and now I'm talking about Jimmy Schultz, man. I'm probably getting a divorce after this episode, man. Unbelievable. Okay, number 8, the last tier, man. The rest of the guys. Okay, we got Riley Patterson, who played with Anthony Romani and Barrie at number 50. And then, sorry, these are all the unsigned guys. Look at that. Okay, look at that. That's another note to make. Ilya Safonov, who we just traded for from Chicago for future considerations at 51. Kieran Dervin, 3rd round pick this year at 52. Damon Gardner at 53, Aiden Celebrini at 54, Vasily Sanosen at 55, played for Switzerland, the World Juniors, played in Rimouski last season, going back to Switzerland to play with some big boys in Switzerland for the upcoming year. Gabe Sherratt, cousin of Ben Sherratt at 56, Matthew Lansing at 57, Parker Alcos at 58, and ending the list, Matthew Perkins, who 15 points as a freshman in the NCAA, went back to 1 goal and 5 points in 29 games, no injuries, no nothing. He's last on the list at 59. That is your Canucks organizational ranking tiers for 2025, baby. Kyle, how many names do you recognize in those lists, buddy?
Zero. What's the name? Safronov, the guy that we just traded. Chicago.
Sergei Samsonov. Right?
Sergei Aiden Celebrini, know that guy. And dude, okay, congratulations to everyone that made the list. Trevor, you did it. You showed your commitment and love to this organization. You're on vacation. You're like, yo, let me rank every single guy, all 59 guys. Like you're just gotta. I don't know if you should be ashamed of yourself or if you should be proud of yourself, but I'm gonna let you make that decision. And you know, we bitched and complained about the mustache all episode long. You know, I gotta admit, I think you should definitely keep it for like the whole season. I think it could do something for you, man, because you look different, dude. You look like a different guy.
My bad, man. My bad. Thanks, man. I feel like a different guy. No, it's not true. I feel like the same guy, but every time I look at it, I'm like, damn, I could do that, man. I swear,
exactly.
Like 5 years ago, my mustache didn't connect in the middle for like the longest time, and now it does, man. It's pretty unbelievable.
Okay, let us know in the comments. Should Trevor keep the mustache? Is this Trevor's new look? Part of Trevor's brand, right? Trevor's an object, not a human being. That's what entertainers are, journalists are, right? Yeah, Trevor, that would be great for your brand. You'll stand out. Just do what makes you happy, Trevor, okay? Again, don't get lost in the sauce, man. My name's Kyle Bhawan, Trevor Beggs right there. Hit the links in the bio, and it's almost here, man. 1 month away from talking about real life.
1 month away from preseason, and even closer, some big announcements here. Again, we appreciate all of you for tuning in here. Locked On Canucks.